Good morning, gente. Welcome to the Four Seasons podcast. Good morning,
Good
guys.
morning.
Morning, guys.
Good
Grand
morning. Good
Rising, Grand
morning.
Rising, welcome in.
Good
My
morning, fellas.
apologies. My apologies on the soft intro here. We're doing things a little different on this episode. So I know it's not what you're used to from me, but welcome,
Yep.
guys.
Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Four Seasons. Today's going to be one that hits home, not only for me, but I'm pretty sure it hits home for a couple of men out there. Some of my colleagues will probably agree with that, but today we're talking about healing, and we're not only going to talk about healing within ourselves, healing within relationships. General topic will be healing. So we'll go from there. Guys,
Good morning.
good morning. Good morning. And just keep in mind, Vato is one of our biggest healers out here that we can always reach out to.
Yeah. If anybody ever needs any healing or wisdom or anything, you can reach out to Vato. If you want me to tell you to get fucked, you can always reach out to me or Mike, probably. So who's
Well,
It's a
that's how we're
different
gonna heal
type
this
of-
shit.
Different type of subject. Different topic.
that's how no I mean
That's
that's how I heal.
yeah,
That's how I heal. Well, yeah, that too.
He
But-
fucks around and finds out. Fuck around and find out if you want to heal with Nick over here.
Oh, I'm a different type of healer, but I mean, I'm more of I isolate and surround myself with people that I feel the most comfortable.
Okay.
I get myself occupied in things that I like doing and try to center myself back to where I feel good physically, mentally, and emotionally. Depending on the circumstance of the situation, it could be a little self-isolation, almost maybe borderline depression. But I try not to let stuff like that get me down, because I do have people that rely on me to be a strong core and need me to be tip top for their survival. So, when you add the fact that you have children in it, you can't, obviously you can heal, but you can't heal for too long. Well, for me, I don't know about you guys. I don't know. What do you think, Mosca?
My healing is a little bit I heal way different. We were talking about this earlier. We usually self-isolate. I go into a rabbit hole, and Vato's seen me. I don't come out for a while. I keep to myself. I stay out of everything. I heal on my own. I get self-sabotage, but then I come back stronger. So I usually throw myself under the ground before I build myself up. Because they
Right.
always said, even they've said it on the movie Zootopia. Have you guys seen Zootopia? When you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up.
What do you mean self-sabotage?
Meaning I put myself down. I start destroying myself, trying to question myself. Why? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why did I do this? Or what could I have done right? Or what the fuck did I do?
Do you
Like-
take that? Do you take that into another relationship, or
No. So that's the only reason I kind of throw myself out there. Like I take myself away from everybody just to heal. Yeah, I hear that pop too, right? But I do it so I can heal, so I can figure out if it was me or not. I put my whole relationship on the notebook. I write it down, and I'll be like, okay, I could have done this. I could have spoken up about this, or I could have said so and so, and I grow from it basically. And people always reach out to me about Vato, Nick, and a couple of times you might reach out, and I'll tell you guys, yeah, I'm good. But that's you can say that's me asking for help, but not really, because I'd rather do it on my own. But I know when you guys reached out that I'm already there. So I heal on my own most of the time.
Do you feel like when you heal on your own, just a quick question before, sorry. Do you feel like when you heal on your own, do you feel like that is an effective way? Or do you think that there could be another way, like maybe reaching out to somebody and speaking to somebody about it? It doesn't even have to go into depth with it, but just, sharing your thoughts on how you're feeling. Does that ever cross your mind? Or when because I said you like to do it by yourself, but just a quick question to
So I reach out, but I reach out to those that are willing to hear me out first and then give me advice. I'm not asking for advice. I never ask for advice ever. But if they give me the advice, I'll take it for accountability. I'll write it down and I'll go from there. But I've
Right.
never. I only reach out so I can get heard out, because we're men.
Mhm.
Every time we reach out to, I'm not gonna say all women. Don't come at me after this. But when we reach out to a women or some kind of people out there, they'll be like, "You're a man. Man up. Shut up. Grow some balls. Grow a pair." Like, you're seeing me bawling out here. You're seeing me in pain. You're seeing that I'm reaching out for help, and all you have to say is, "Grow a pair." You honestly think I'm gonna reach out? You guys honestly think I'm gonna reach Mike? Oh, okay, it went away. You guys honestly think I'm gonna reach out to that person again?
No, I wouldn't.
So that's why I kind of heal on my own, because I'm not gonna say I'm scared of getting that reply back, because I know you guys won't do that,
No.
but I do it because I don't want to hear it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure I get that. What about you, Vato, Mike? Vato?
I feel that most men, especially men, we live quiet lives of desperation. Meaning, we try not to bring our problems to other people. We try to keep them within ourselves. I don't really believe in isolation. I used to isolate until I understood that when you create fortresses, the coverage is better, the healing is better, the growth comes out. It takes a community to really heal trauma. But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to either find the community, build a community, or find just a selective hand of people that are going to genuinely give you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak. So I understand what Mosca's saying, because I feel like anytime that you go see a counselor, like, yeah, sometimes we just need to say what's on our mind and what we're feeling in our chest.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that because society has developed a order that goes around us, that keeps us in one area, and it's really up to us to be able to break out of that box, right?
Yeah, nobody can help you if you can't help yourself, or if you don't want the help.
Right. Right.
Mike, anything that you want to bring up on it, or
On the healing aspect,
yeah?
you know,
Yes.
I think I said in the last podcast towards the end was I think everybody has a different way of healing, right? Some people require time, some other people don't require time, and some people get over it. It really depends on their personal experience of what they went through. You know, have I tried the healing process and going, 6 months, a year waiting? Yes, I've tried that before. But then it goes back to what I said in the last podcast: is how many people that came into your life that could potentially be the one that you pushed away or you let slip through your fingers because you're going through something. Now, I know some people are going to disagree and be like, well, you got to heal and blah, blah, and do it. Okay, I get that. I get that aspect, right? But we have one life to live. You can't always push people away because you feel a type of way. Maybe you have to change the way you heal, maybe the process. In my case, I've done it over the years where it gets to a point where if I make that decision to break up with somebody, at that point, I'm not in love with you. Because to me, like I said, it's a 3-6 month process in that relationship trying to fix it, watering that grass. That grass is dying. So if I identify certain problems within a relationship and it doesn't get fixed, it doesn't get water, you're not pulling your part, you're not compromising, you're not communicating with me, you're not pulling your part to work on that relationship. By the time I make that decision of leaving you, that means I'm not in love with you anymore. And at that point, whatever feelings I have for you stays with that relationship. So, of course, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So during that time where you've already, like you said, you've given 3, 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is, during that time, is that also a time where you're kind of like maybe healing as well?
Yes. So now some people, after a relationship, they find themselves again, or they center themselves, or they put themselves in the right type of mind. At that point,
Right.
that 6 month, 3, 6 month, 9 month process, I'm doing that step during that process, even though I'm still in a relationship, because I'm preparing myself. I'm preparing myself for the worst, but with the idea of maybe the relationship don't work out. So either in that 6-9 month, either we work on it, we fix it, we compromise, and guess what? I still, have hope. But if it's not working, I'm slowly transitioning myself to having that process of, if it's not going to work out, I'm going to be okay.
Right.
See, I'm not opposed to anything that's been said about one person leaving a relationship and then finding another one, because I found my person. I found my person, and what I will say is, you just gotta. I don't feel like you have to be healed to walk into a relationship. I just feel that you need to have started the healing process. So if you started the healing process before going into the next relationship, you're not going to believe those traumatic events, those situations, the circumstances, how you were spoken to by that other person on this next person. And that's important, because that person doesn't deserve it. They deserve the best version of ourselves, because that's what we want for ourselves. So
Right.
with even that being said, bro, I don't think anything bad about that. And I feel like, we ask for our healing sometimes, and that next person that's gonna come into our lives, that was the person that was the missing component to our healing sometimes.
Yeah. I believe that anybody that comes into your life is there for a purpose or a lesson. I mean, even if it is for a lesson, it's for a purpose. Some come and stay, and then they go.
Yeah, and that's a quote that I'm not gonna say I live by, but I've said it on my own personal podcast that I have. I'm not gonna promote it here because it's ours. But I've always said people come in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But they make their own decision on which one they want to be part of.
Absolutely.
You can't make the decision for them. They pick what part of the life they are. They're either a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And from the looks of it, Vato got his lifetime.
Well, even in our lifetime, bro, Annie and I, we've come in the last 14 years. Everything has been in seasons, and we either end at that season or we restart the new season. Because Annie's a complete different woman now that she's in her. Like, Annie is in her. I can say that Annie is finally in her soft era. Because she has healed her childhood traumas for the most part. She has healed traumatic events that happened to her as an adolescent. She's healed traumas that we caused each other in our marriage, or she's working on healing some of the traumas that we've caused each other in our marriage. So I feel like now I can say that Annie is more in her soft era because she's finally at peace with things that happened to her in her past. And she tells me all the time, she came into my life to heal me, but bro, in reality, she came into my life to heal me. So we all deserve that. We all deserve. Mike talks about having peace. Everybody deserves peace in their marriage. Is there going to be things that stir up the pot? Fuck yeah, right? That's just how it goes. More traumas always come up.
Yeah, and I feel people will come in and try to, stir up things if they see something good, if they see something they don't have. And that can even circle back to that whether it's most of the time when it's in a relationship, a marriage, or whatever, it's usually somebody of the opposite sex that'll try to come in and kind of throw a curve into what people have. I've seen it, and I know you guys have seen it, maybe dealing with it, or have gone through it, or are going through it. That's oof. Nobody likes peace.
I feel like Mosca. Look at Mosca smirk. He wants to say something about that. Mosca.
What am I have to say? I don't have to say anything.
I just saw you go. I just saw you fix your posture up and go. Is there anything you want to say about that? Anything you want to add to
that? We're gonna bring back what we were talking about earlier on our other podcast last week. The hardest healing for me was that relationship, and I'm not gonna say I'm the best man out there. We all have our flaws. I don't speak for all men, but we all have our flaws. My communication was bad back then. My relationship was bad back then. And the worst mistake that I ever made, and we talked about it, was trusting those male friends with my partner. Yeah. Because now I got nothing bad to say about her, but now she's happily engaged to a so-called best friend of mine. So that goes back to throwing it at that sorry, I'm trying to hold my tears back. Throwing it back to the whole keeping your friends close, keep your enemies closer, but keeping those friends that you thought were loyal to you just to be in those DMs. And you being oblivious out of it. But yeah, it took me fucking 3 years to heal from that shit. And like I said, I wasn't the best person out there. My communication was bad. I've grown so much from that, and I'm very open with people that I talk to now. Like I let them know, like, hey, I'm still healing, but just because I'm still healing doesn't mean we can heal together. Or even I tell women that is like, oh, you know what, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm still trying to heal. Yeah, you can still heal with that other person. It's you talking about your issues, your problems. What were the mistakes that you learned from that previous relationship, or what are the mistakes have you done in life that you will learn from? It's not all about a relationship. It's all about you. Once you start growing, once you start loving yourself, once that whole inner child of you becomes happy, you'll be happy.
There's always a missing component to healing, bro. Always.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is another person. Sometimes it is that one person that you're supposed to live with, you know, the person that you had in your past life, that twin flame. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's the missing component.
Mike, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I have a question for everybody. Okay, so we're talking about healing stage.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you recognize being part of someone's healing stage versus being someone's rebound?
Ooh.
You're a rebound if it hits you up the next day after they just broke up. That's a rebound.
Like I said,
But
no,
I'm just joking.
I want something deeper though.
Fuck. How do you even answer this shit?
Because we've been in that situation where
we've all been rebounds.
we're part of the healing stage, but it's really a rebound to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I think everybody could be, when somebody's in a healing stage, I think that everybody can be somewhat of a rebound, if that's what you want to call, if you want to call it a rebound, I guess. I feel like the person's healing, and obviously they're just trying to find somebody to kind of share a little bit of happiness or a little bit of peace with, and whether or not it's short term or a long term thing, obviously, because there's people that obviously they weren't wanting anything serious with somebody, just wanted somebody there, but it obviously turned into something more serious and more long term, you know what I mean? So I mean, is it really a rebound, or is it just part of your healing stage? Because some people don't like to heal alone. Some people don't want to heal. Some women don't want to heal without a man, and some men don't want to heal without a woman. That even if it doesn't even have to be a sexual thing. It's just more. It could be more of like an emotional, or just the physical presence of somebody to, get you through a dark time or a bad time, or however you want to touch on it, So I feel like there's, yeah.
I have a question for our audience. Quick question for our audience, and again, like we said it in the last one, make sure you prioritize answering this question on our Spotify comments, on our YouTube channel. At what point do you feel that you're ready to go to the next either stage of your life after healing or while healing? At what point do you feel it's proper to really go find the next person that you're going to be with, that you want the full commitment with, because you learned your lesson from previous relationships? So make sure you guys answer that on our Spotify account, YouTube account. We want to hear, because these statements and questions, we want to do topics on them.
Yeah.
Anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. And we are on Apple Podcasts too, so make sure you check that one out. You can go on there and leave your comments, thoughts, remarks, whatever. As far as that goes, on your question. Oof.
I don't know. I don't. It's hard for us to. It's hard for me to label myself a rebound, or to think of myself as being a rebound, because technically that's not what I'm. That's not what I'm hoping I'm trying to do or I'm doing. But I think that whole rebound term just comes from people out there saying, "Oh, he's just a rebound." I don't think most of us do it to think that we're a rebound. And if you want to label yourself a rebound, then that's just. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, but if you want to label yourself a rebound, then you're just a whole bag.
Yeah.
Mike, do you consider somebody a rebound when? How do I ask this? Would you
Say it with your chest out.
in
Say it with your chest out.
in our previous podcast, we talked about friends with the opposite sex and how, for the most part, we've seen it. A majority of women leave a relationship with somebody already in line to take that relationship over. Do you consider that a rebound?
You know what? That's a good question. It's not so much a rebound if you already have that person in mind. A rebound is somebody that comes along that you're trying to get over somebody, right? And usually a rebound is somebody you just met. If you have somebody on the side, or you know of somebody, whether you're talking to them as a friend or you keep it in the friend zone, that's a whole different freaking another category. You know, that's just being shady as hell. But a rebound is somebody that you met after your relationship just to get over somebody. You know, and I consider that two different people, because 90% of the stats say 90% of half of 90% of women have that person in mind. It's because they're looking for a relationship of that, or they see a better quality, or they see something that person has that their current relationship doesn't with the person they're with. So no, I don't consider that a rebound. I consider that just being, just having somebody on standby that they see a quality in them. Honestly, I don't believe in rebounds. Do people utilize that concept? Yes, they do. But personally, me, I don't believe in rebounds. I don't go seeking that type of attention after I break up with somebody, or let's say hypothetically someone breaks up with me. I don't do that. I think that's a waste of time. It is a waste of time. It devalues you as a person, especially if you're just using somebody. If a relationship comes out of that, then I think that's a shaky relationship to start with. Because if you go with somebody and you're utilizing them not for a purpose to start a relationship, but to get over somebody else, that tells me that you're not 100% mentally invested in that person. I tell everybody this: I date to marry. I really do. I date to marry, and before I talk to someone, I'm like, look, if I'm gonna date you, it's because one day my goal is to marry you. So I don't believe in that rebound bullshit. Other people might do that, but not me. So no. But to answer your question, I think there's two different things. It's not a healing if you already have that person in mind, and usually if you have that person on standby, it's because you see something in them that maybe they have something that your current man doesn't, or your current girl doesn't, because it goes both ways, right? So no, there are two different things for me. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, very well.
I was gonna say something, I started choking.
Tell me what you were gonna say. I want to hear.
Choke me, daddy.
I was gonna say something stupid. I was like, so how many rebounds have we all been in?
Oh shit, good question.
I know. I've been a rebound twice for someone. Well, for two different women.
They told you, or you figured that out?
Oh, I figured it out after that shit happened.
Yeah, I'd probably
Good
say
hits.
a couple times myself as well, probably throughout my
I
life.
don't,
You know.
But that you're married, you don't count.
I don't even remember, bro. But
Oh, she's a
I enjoyed being a
downfield south.
rebound back then.
I'm
I
sure. I'm
enjoyed
sure.
being a rebound back then.
I'm sure you probably were at some point. And so at some point
Yeah.
before your
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah.
good
I was
life.
a
You know.
rebound a few times, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I
Well, yeah.
enjoyed being a rebound. It was fun.
Most people do. Well, most men do anyway.
Which is why which is why I say I know how men think for the most part. I know how most men think, um, which is why it comes down to even the last podcast, friends with exes, friends with opposite sexes, because everybody in this box knows at one point, like we're in our growth era, right? We're in our healing era, we're in our becoming more era. So, but we know how a lot of the immature men think,
Hmm.
a lot of the unhealed men think.
Yep. Welcome to Four Seasons. Once again, where we talk about everything and everything.
Yeah, and right here you just heard pretty much 4 different seasons of healing, of how people heal. Because nobody out of all 4 of us in here, 4 different seasons, nobody heals the same.
Yeah, I don't
We
think none of
all
us have healed the same.
heal in our own way, whether it's where it goes to a dark time, or you just you bring on positives, and you heal through preparing for the worst. That's everybody heals different. And like, even going back to your question, Vato, I don't think that like, it's like being in a relationship, or how soon to be in a relationship after healing, or I think it's more along the lines of, when you heal, you aren't even really looking for a relationship. It's more along the lines, well, as for me, it's just, when you feel like the right person comes along, if that person comes along for you or not.
Right. And women out there, real quick, this is how us 4 heal. This is our own opinion. Y'all women heal different ways. We've seen it. I've seen it. But I know some men out there are probably gonna agree with most of us in here. Some of you men out there probably heal way fucking different than we do. And some of y'all just hoe bags. What were you gonna say, Nick? Mike?
I was gonna bring some up because I just thought about it.
Go for it.
I've been in a relationship where, when you've been in a toxic relationship, you go from one relationship to another, right? You have certain experiences, right? You see certain trends, you see certain things that fall in place. You're like, I've been through this shit before, and it's like identical to the T. The one thing I do hate the most is when you go from one relationship to another with the expectation of not making the same mistakes as we usually work on ourselves as right.
Right.
We also don't want to deal with half the bullshit that freaking we dealt with in the previous relationship. So one of the things I ran into in my previous relationship is she was doing similar things that were red flags, right? And I would point it out, and then she'd be like this, "Oh, it sounds like you haven't healed from your past relationship." I was like, no. It's not that I have healed. It's called experience. It's called, I've been on this roller coaster before. I was like, it's not a healing thing. It's I've been through this shit, right? And I'm seeing the same type of pattern play out with you. I just don't like when men and women who have that type of mindset, that's their deflection. They were like, well, you're only pointing it out because you don't trust me, or because your ex did it, doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. I'm like, okay, that's true, but my insecurities don't come from my past relationship. I'm the type of guy, I don't bring that shit forward. My insecurities come in what your actions are. So a lot of the women I dated be like, well, you haven't healed yet. No, stop being a fucking, dancing on that fucking boundary and tit tapping and doing whatever you want to do when it comes to providing insecurities in a relationship or crossing boundaries, and stop deflecting that into my past relationships, and they was like, well, you just need to get over it. I'm like, no, it's not getting over it. I am over my ex, but I also learned a few things from that experience. And when you bring those learning qualities to a new relationship, that's why it's important to communicate with the person you're with. Who doesn't communicate what you've been through, right? I'm pretty sure Vato, you and your wife had a whole bunch of conversations before you guys made it official. Like, hey, this is what I went through. This is my experience. That's the same thing with Nick. The same thing with Mosca over there. That's why communication is important. But at the end of the day, don't you guys hate that when they always try to deflect and tell you haven't healed, to kind of take the negative aspect of what they're doing in the relationship and put it on you? I just hate that shit.
That's narcissistic. That's a narcissistic trait that women carry, but they're not ready to have those conversations. Most women are not ready to have the conversations of their narcissistic traits. They only want to talk about our narcissistic traits. Or
what was I saying?
Is narcissistic.
What was I saying, Nick?
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it.
Ding, ding, ding.
I think that's going to cause some problems.
You know what?
But it's true, though.
If it causes problems, that's okay, because that's what this podcast is here for, to dissect problems that go unanswered or unfigured out, however you want to fucking answer the question. That's what this is here for, to provide a voice. People can reach out, and I'm waiting for the time that more men reach out and tell us, like, fuck, man, like, I know exactly what the fuck this is going. I know exactly what, I identify with somebody in here. I'm fucking glad this is it could, that right there itself could be a healing for somebody else. This whole thing right here, whether or not anybody that listens to this or watches it gets fucking mad at what anybody says here, who gives a fuck? I don't care if you get mad.
It's our opinion.
That's something you need to work on, because this is how I feel. This is what I've dealt with, and it's what each one of these gentlemen here have dealt with. Our personal things that we're putting out there for you to listen to, so you can say, fuck, maybe I'm not alone, even though sometimes you might feel alone.
Yeah. And it's crazy that we're saying this, because I was swiping through a couple of lives on TikTok. Those of you that know, we have a TikTok account. And I heard this gentleman say, I don't date women from LA because all the women from LA are toxic and they don't know how to heal. I swear to God, just because my account is not active right now, I wanted to jump in there and put him in his spot. He said, I only date women from Texas because women from Texas are smarter and better. And I have
so many questions.
I was going to go in there. My account was not active, but I was going to go in there and be like, you attract what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So stop blaming other women for your stupid ass mistakes. We're here defending women on this shit real quick, but we also are the same. We attract what we want, and sometimes you need to fucking change that shit, homie, because
So rolling back to the healing, do you think that that's something deep inside of him that hasn't healed?
Oh, definitely,
Yes.
because he said he dated multiple women from LA, and we're like, bro, where in LA are you looking for these women, and what are you looking for in these women? Because I started noticing his type, and his type is, I'm not gonna say his name or handle, but his type is
Ooh.
toxic.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, like you're gonna attract what you put off. So, and he's probably toxic as well.
Oh, he hella toxic. Like, yes, he's hella toxic. And the crazy shit is, he just kept bashing women from LA. I was like, bro, there's people in the Bay, there's people in San Diego, there's people in the Valley, there's women all over the place.
Where's he from?
We're gonna find shitty people. We're gonna
He's from
find
the
shitty
IE.
people no matter where.
Oh, he's one of those. All right. All right.
Yeah, you're right, Vato. We are gonna find that shit, but just because you haven't healed from women, you're gonna start looking other places. Heal for you first. Be happy. Be you first. And if you find that partner that can help you heal, shit, that's even better.
But you'll only find that partner that's going to help you heal or support your healing. Because sometimes people are not meant to help you heal. They can
Right.
support your healing. And you're only going to find that person if you have entered your healing era.
Yeah.
And me, I'll say this. This will probably be the last thing I say on this episode. I'm considered a healer. I don't consider myself a healer. But that's what people call me. And as that type of person, I understand that I'm here for a purpose, and I feel that is my purpose. That is the purpose that the Creator put me on this earth for. And I have to understand that it took me a long time to understand that I am seasonal in everybody's life. I am seasonal in everybody's life. As soon as people find their healing through me, we're no longer really in contact. And I'm okay with that. And we have to be okay, people in general, we have to be okay that when we enter a new stage of our life, it's time to let old things go. And that's going into your new relationship, you have to let old things go to better your relationship.
Say it, Mike. Say
Mike, what
it.
do you got to say?
So,
Say
I
it.
see you. I see
I'm
you.
from California, right? And I'm dating Adriana. She's from Texas. You consider me toxic?
No.
I was just asking. I just want to know, as a friend to friend, toxic. You can be honest.
No,
Our bromance is toxic.
Yeah, our bromance is toxic because you can cheat on me with other bromances a lot. We haven't healed from that. I haven't healed from that.
Oh no.
Okay, so for those of you that are listening out there, these four guys have become a big part of my healing process. Some might not like each other, some might not, and I'm not saying them, but I mean like other friends of mine might not like people in here. We might not like people out there, but no matter what, I always come to these four guys here, and then there's two other women out there that I go to, and obviously we spoke about one last time, and it's Mama Bear. But
shout out to Mama Bear.
Can't say enough good things about Mama Bear, man.
These guys here are
always a real one.
Yeah, these guys here are always been here for my healing, even though we shit talk, but I consider them more than just TikTok friends. I consider them more than just friends. I consider them almost family at this point. We've hit that mark. We've hit that mark, and I just want to say thanks for listening, you guys. Man, out there, if you guys want to reach out, you guys always reach out to one of us. We'll listen. Women, don't hit up Mike or Vato unless you get their consent first. But you can hit me and Nick up anytime y'all want. No, I'm just messing. Women, just be cautious. You know, they have a partner, so be mindful.
respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully.
think
Disrespectfully,
everybody-
you
I
can
thi-
reach me. I don't give a shit.
And for all you, I was gonna say something very mean, but I'm not gonna say it right now because we're talking.
Say
we're trying
it.
To, we're trying to
We're
heal.
at the end.
And for all you swinging dicks out there, quit trying to get after these dudes' women. All right, leave them alone.
Please.
You know that they have. He's got a wife. He's got a girlfriend. Don't go follow him.
Stay out of those DMs.
Stay out of the DMs because you act like they don't know about it when you guys send a DM. Oh hey, and for the ones that don't like me, fuck you. I don't even care if you don't like me. It don't even matter. I'm not here for you to like me.
He says, their shit's gonna freeze off by the time Manny actually responds to their way of reaching out. So I'm all good with that.
Any
man.
last words, concerns, or anything, guys? Before we end this, I'm gonna
Make
end it
sure
with
that
one
you
more
guys
thing. Go ahead.
make sure you guys go like our platform if you appreciate the things that we're saying. Make sure you guys give us a 5-star rating if you think that we're speaking facts about how we are as men, and make sure you guys go engage with our content on TikTok, on Four Seasons Podcast, YouTube, Apple Music, and what's the other one?
Spotify.
Spotify.
Show some love or some hate.
And on a serious note, if you are in that healing process and you however you choose to heal, but if you are one of the ones that maybe go through a dark time, just know that there's always somebody out there who will hear you out. Voice your concern. You can voice your concerns too. Shit, if you want to and if you feel comfortable, jam any of us up. Jam up the podcast page.
Yep.
If you just need to reach out to speak. Damn, my kids are going wild. But if you need that helping hand to reach out, just an ear to listen,
Reach out.
we all support you in your healing.
Mike? You're good? And on that note, remember, people, we're here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Y'all have a blessed one.
Bye, everybody.